Balance. It's not easy to get it right. We live in a world that's advancing all the time, making our lives better. And although we say we live in a global society, the truth is that not everyone benefits. We all believe we should live in a fairer world, but sometimes it's difficult to know where to start to make it fairer. And if we did, could we make any difference anyway? Well, we at the Venture Partnership Foundation believe you can.
To find the right causes to give to is a challenge. We have a very thin resource in terms of staff in Barclays Capital around the charities space, and so we don't really have the time to look at every possible opportunity that's out there. We obviously get a lot of requests. We have criteria that those requests need to fill, but it's useful to have entities like VPF that we can give to, who effectively select for us, with input from us, but select for us how the money is channeled. So that's it's a big plus in terms of working with an outfit like VPF. It brings a discipline to the channeling of money to charities in the social entrepreneurship space, and there's a lot of jargon in this charities business, and there's a lot of jargon in the social entrepreneurship business, as I've discovered, and VPF certainly in my book is cutting through that, which is a big plus.
Right on our own doorstep are children who didn't get a proper childhood. Subject to appalling abuse and neglect, they've got no reason to trust our society or even to want to participate in it. Kids Company believes that providing a loving parenting experience can and does transform their lives.
Kids Company is actually quite simple to explain what it does, because if you think of what you would be doing for your own children if you had children of your own, Kids Company caters for all of that. So that starts from, in the basics, housing and food, nutrition, clothing, transport, communication, all those basic features of human life. But then crucially, underlying and overarching everything is the relationship, the loving and caring relationship that we put in place of these children's lives. And then building on that, those fundamentals in life, we then try to make possible education, recreation, exposure to arts, sports, and all those facilities. VPF is actually extremely hands-on in their approach. They really want to make a direct and also sustainable impact on the organizations that they aim to support or that they do support. So it's not just a matter of making a grant and then waiting for reports a few months or a few years further down the line. No, they really want to be hands-on involved in the improvement and the running of these organizations, such as Kids Company. And so they are, in that sense, really very different from others. Also the spirit, I think, of the founders and the key figures in VPF is quite unique. What would be wonderful to achieve with VPF in 5 to 10 years' time, if we can, together with them, establish really almost routine ways in which expertise can flow from the commercial world into the charitable world.
Mentally ill people in the developing world are trapped not only by their condition, but by their society's inability to deal with their problems. Basic Needs, uniquely, are working to help these people.
Basic Needs is an organisation that works in 8 developing countries. There are 4 in Africa. We also work in India, Sri Lanka, Laos and Colombia. And we work with mentally ill people, the poorest of the poor, who have become very, very deprived of both economic and medical resources. And we work with them using a model, the model for mental health and development, so as to assist them to come back into recovery, and further than that, to be able to make an income in due course. VPF has really made quite a difference to the way in which we work. First of all, it's given us a generous contribution of financing every year, and that financing has been reliable and something that we can plan on. And that makes an enormous difference for a small to medium-sized charity to have funds that are reliable. The second thing is that it's provided us with a key volunteer, and he's been enormously useful in helping us with our business planning, with other projects, and most notably he's been the key person to see that the franchising that we want to do of our model, he's been the person who's recognised that as being valuable and has gone out and found the expertise for us.
Well, a bike is certainly the quickest way to get around town, but it's also the most efficient way of providing healthcare to the most remote communities in Africa.
Riders for Health focuses simply on transportation to reach rural communities in Africa with vital healthcare. We make sure that whatever it is rural communities need to keep them healthy, to stop them dying of easily preventable and curable diseases, that it gets there, that people miss that part out of development about how you get the transport and manage the transport to keep it going, to keep those people healthy and from dying.
A great deal of intellectual effort, financial effort, management effort goes into producing what seem to be new solutions, new vaccines, for example, or new health techniques that actually never reach anybody. So what we're good at is managing large numbers of vehicles in hostile conditions, and by hostile we mean where there isn't a network of dealerships with lots of technicians and spare parts. So you have to invent all that, and that's what we've been working on.
But it's also important to know that it's people in Africa who are doing this job. It's not expatriates from the rest of the world. This is people in Africa, in the countries in which we're working, who are trained and are running the vehicles, running the management systems, and that's the way to keep it in place, because otherwise, you know, it all falls apart in another few years. And that's actually what social enterprise is about, making sure that something is working and sustainable.
We know a lot of funders over 20 years, and a lot of uncomfortable relationships to develop around money and funding, and it's certainly a very comfortable relationship with VPF.
They're helping us to grow, but we have an opportunity to help them too. That's a really unique relationship, to have a feeling that we can help VPF as well as them helping us. Social enterprise needs VPF, and I know that in 5 years they'll be gathering all the people together and focusing their funding and their other support very effectively, and I wish them every single success.
Long-term unemployment can feel like a pit it's impossible to climb out of. Training for Life has developed an innovative model which not just gives people the skills, but also the self-belief necessary to get back to work.
Training for Life is a charity that works with people who are trapped in unemployment. We give them a chance by creating social enterprises that gives them the opportunity to train as apprenticeships and to earn a salary, and then to go out into jobs with industry partners. The power is not in giving. The power is in helping individuals to transform their lives so that they have the control over their lives to make it a better life. Not for other people to do good, but to equip them to change their lives for the better for themselves. VPF have been fantastic on, I suppose, 3 levels. It's very hard to get unrestricted income. And what the social investment that VPF have put into Training for Life has freed us up to be able to generate more income for the charity. The second is a remarkable bunch of people who have a remarkable set of skills as individuals and as a group. And it has been incredibly helpful to bring on board that thought leadership, the ability to influence, the ability to leverage through their networks, and the potential of that VPF partnership, not just for Training for Life, but for the other organisations that they're hoping to support is precisely that. It is precisely inviting other people to say, you can do the same thing as well as we have. The third is that they're a bunch of nice guys.
Some really inspiring stories, and it's a great privilege for us at the Venture Partnership Foundation to be part of them. And we would love for you to join us, whether it's your time, your money, or both. And no matter how much or how little, it's all helping to redress the balance.